What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's second video. In today's second video, we're going to take a look at Ethereum and how strong it actually looks. We're going to take a look at the 4-hour chart, the daily, the weekly, and the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio to see if we got any clues on what is going to come next for Ethereum. So let's not waste any more time and jump straight on into the 4-hour chart here. As you guys can see, we did reject the head and shoulders pattern we were forming for Ethereum, at least temporarily, right? You guys can see we have our left shoulder here, our head, and our right shoulder. And we came back down to retest the neckline here, but we actually held it as support and rejected that head and shoulders pattern. So on the short-term time frame, things are looking pretty good for Ethereum, right? Things are looking pretty damn good. Now, will that last? Well, we got to see if we can get continued upside price action today. If you guys did watch my Bitcoin video, if Bitcoin decides to dump, it's most likely going to bring down Ethereum with it. Now, on Bitcoin's last big dump, Ethereum didn't dump that far. Ethereum only dumped to about 2050, and that's where I expect that if Bitcoin was to dump down to that $45,000 region, I do expect probably Ethereum to dump back down to about that $2,050 region as well. Kind of because we know on the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, Ethereum still has to gain on Bitcoin temporarily. So I see Ethereum probably dumping down to 2050 if we go, if Bitcoin really starts dumping again. Now, switching on over to the daily chart, you guys can see on the daily chart, we are forming a pretty nice bullish divergence here. Now, this could be negated if we start to seeing a big dump today, but you guys can see we're getting lower lows on our RSI, and we're getting higher lows in price action, which is bullish divergence and should, based on technicals, push us up to the upside, though we know if Bitcoin starts dumping, it's going to rule that out. So look for if Bitcoin breaks up from its current symmetrical triangle, look for Ethereum to really start moving as it has nice bullish divergence on the daily. If Bitcoin starts to dump, look for Ethereum to probably, either hold that $2,050 region or come back down to its the 70-day moving average right here. Actually, this is the 70-day moving average, which is the equivalent of the 10-week moving average. You guys can see here, we've came back down to touch this multiple times. So when we do break our 20-day moving average, which has been really good support for Ethereum on its ways up, you guys can see we usually come back down to that 70-day moving average. Right here, we broke the 20-day moving average. It came back down to the 70-day moving average once again. We go back in time, it's played out pretty well. Right here, you broke the 20-day moving average, you came back down to the 70-day moving average. So it's pretty much like clockwork. If you do break that 20, you come back down to the 70. So look for Ethereum if it does break the 20, which is 20 right now, sits at 2,234. If it does break that on a daily close level, look for a move probably back down to the 70-day moving average, which right now sits at about 1,917, which also does line up pretty well with my next support level I have here for Ethereum, which is the lows from April 7th and the highs from March 14th. So a lot of confluence in that like 1920 area, dollar area for Ethereum. But that's really it on the daily chart. Let's switch over to the weekly chart. Look how strong Ethereum looks on the weekly chart. Even though Bitcoin's been pretty lackluster the last couple of weeks, Ethereum continues to put in green candles over and over and over again, 4 in a row, after Bitcoin has like three red candles in a row. So pretty strong stuff for Ethereum. We are holding that 10-week moving average. You guys can see this entire bull run for Ethereum since April of last year. We've held that the 10-week moving average, which is extremely strong. We have not even dipped below on a weekly close below that 10-week moving average. And what do you know, guys? That 10-week moving average right now sits at about 1933, right in that 1920 range, and that would be where I would get our serious support if we were to get one big more dip for Ethereum. If we were to see a dip from where we are right now to that 10-week moving average, that currently would put us about a 16% dip lower to the downside. Worst case scenario, this is like if we really start dumping on BTC, probably look for Ethereum to move back down to its 20-week. Which it had a couple wicks down to the 20-week, don't get me wrong. But if we did go back below the 20, I expect it to be a quick wick. Nothing crazy. We're literally just going to wick down to it and then pop back up. Kind of like we did back down here in August, in September. You guys can see right here, we broke the 10-week and we actually wicked back down to the 20-week a couple times, but never closed below the 10-week. That's what I expect to happen. And if we were to go down to that, it would be a quick wick, about 30% dip, which isn't bad considering Ethereum has been constantly moving up here and everything else has been constantly dumping. So not too bad there on the weekly chart. Let's switch on over to the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. You guys can see we are getting almost to the top of that range where once we hit the top of this range, I do expect Bitcoin to start moving heavily against Ethereum and altcoins again. So we are getting pretty close to the top of that range. So be aware that, yes, Ethereum has had a huge run against Bitcoin, but we are, historically speaking, when we do hit the top of this rising channel, we tend to see Bitcoin have its big runs after we hit that level. So just be expected to probably see, really it kind of lines up perfectly with Bitcoin having its dump. Maybe we have another week of downwards price action. We hit the top of this, Ethereum hits the top of this ratio, and then we see Bitcoin really start taking off against altcoins and Ethereum. So just be expected to see that. But that's really the quick update on Ethereum today. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, leave a subscribe. If you guys are new, hit that like button. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.